Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane Doom the Dark Ages Doomslayer. This is a McFarlane Elite Edition action figure. This is actually their first Elite figure. I got this guy from the McFarlane toy store. It arrived today, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, ages 14 plus, Doom the Dark Ages McFarlane Elite Edition. Here's the package. We have a shield, a couple guns, extra hands, a mace, looks like a collector's card, an Elite Redemption card, and a display stand. One side of the package, Doom the Dark Ages Doomslayer. This is the first figure in the Elite action figure line. Other side, McFarlane Elite Edition. And on the back, here he is posed up from the game. At the bottom, there's his barcode if that helps anybody. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we've got this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. Comes with quite a bit of stuff, as an overpriced Elite figure should. He's got a display stand, a collector's card, Elite points card, a total of 4 interchangeable hands. He's got a pulverizer, a flail, a shield saw, and then a combat shotgun. Before we take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out this figure. So this is the Doomslayer from Doom, specifically Dark Ages. I believe the creators of the original game said this guy's supposed to be the grandson of the original Doomslayer. He's a UAC Marine. Basically, his job is to kill demons and monsters. This is a McFarlane Elite figure, which basically means it's going to be a ton of reuse and ridiculously high price point. It does make for a very nice figure, but it's overpriced and it's a lot of reuse. They could have come up with a brand new body if they're going to charge this much. I know it's Big Bad Toy Stores asking $72 for this guy. The retail like Walmart's like $50. I paid, I don't know, $36 or so. I'm a platinum member at the McFarlane website, so that's 10% off right there. Then I redeemed $20 rewards, so I made it pretty cheap. After shipping, it was, I think, $36 or so. And that's about the price that he's worth. I mean, he comes with a lot of stuff. He looks good. The fur cape is nice. The accessories are plentiful. But $50 is just way too much. $35 is a very fair price for him. But of course, in modern day and age, we're never going to pay what a quote-unquote fair price. So when looking at this figure, I'm not really going to take value into consideration. Just look at, is the figure itself good? And it is. It looks very nice. We'll compare him with the other Doomslayer a little bit later in the video, but for now, let's enjoy this guy. Let's take a closer look. So, let's start with his head. He's got a helmet on. Looks like kind of a green visor type thing. And the sculpt is nice. So is the paint job. He has kind of a military green. So his cape looks fantastic. It's like fur. I'm not really sure why he's a fur cape. Kind of gives a Viking feel to it. He's got this blaster, kind of like a Predator, onto his shoulder there. And it actually comes off and has full articulation. Doesn't break off. You can see he has a little peg there. He's got these spiked shoulder armor. It looks like single jointed elbows, and this is the kind of stuff that I complain about. I mean, if they're going to charge this much and use his body from, what is it, like 8 years ago, that kind of sucks. Nice texturing on the sort of chainmail there. You can see it underneath. Looks very good. Also looks like single jointed knees, spiked armor all over him, actual chains, pretty nicely done. The belt looks good, tons of pouches, ammo, details. It's a very nice looking figure, albeit overpriced, but if you want the sort of definitive Doomslayer, this is definitely the one. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, which is very well done. It looks good. And then, here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane display stand we've seen plenty of times before. It says Doom on the bottom. And then we have his collector's card. As you can see, it's a Doomslayer with his flail, shield, a bunch of monsters underneath and behind him. McFarlane Elite Collection, Doom the Dark Ages. On the back, there's a description. If you want to read that, pause now. And then we have the Elite point card, 50 points. You can scratch off the back to redeem it. Definitely have to go ahead and do that. Now let's look at his hands. He has a total of 4 hands, 2 left hands, and 2 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. His right hand is a fist, and his left hand is an open hand. And here's his alternate pair of hands. These are both gripping hands with trigger fingers. Next, look at his shoulder cannon. I'm sure they stole this idea from Predator. You can tell it's a little machine gun there. Now at the top, it does have articulation. The gun can rotate around. And at the base here, it's got this peg going to his back, and it has the ability to rotate around like that as well. No articulation here, but you have rotation in 2 different directions. Here's the doomslayer with that shoulder cannon attached. You can see how it just sort of fits in underneath this cape there. Pegs in here. You can rotate it on the back part. Say you want it to be on the side. Can be done. Rotate it back up. In addition to that, it can rotate at the top here, look to the side, etc. Now let's look at his saw shield. It's a large shield with buzzsaw blades on the side, and on the front it has the doomslayer symbol. The doomslayer symbol is an iconic emblem embedded into the doomslayer's helmet and shield. It represents his weapon, which symbolizes destruction and tearing. So as you can see on the front here, it has the doomslayer symbol, red, almost looks like blood, and it's a large military green shield with all these blades on the side. On the inside, he can hold it here, defending himself and attacking enemies with the blades. Here's the doomslayer holding that saw shield. And now for the rest of his weapons, we have the flail, pulverizer, and combat shotgun. So, the flail, we have this spiked ball here, and it connects with an actual chain to the handle, looking really damn good. Then we have this combat shotgun, looks like a double barrel shotgun. Nice paint detail, nice sculpt detail. Then we have his pulverizer. Very large, weird type cannon. It's got this sort of bloody skull and all the sort of innards on the inside there, and a very large sort of barrel at the front. Looks really cool, really powerful. Here's the doomslayer holding his flail, and here holding onto his shotgun, and here with his large pulverizer. Now I wanted to check out the reuse differences and similarities between this Doom Dark Ages Doomslayer and the only other Doomslayer that I have is the Glow in the Dark Amazon exclusive version, and to my surprise they don't share a single part. Now I don't have any of the other Doomslayer figures, but they've made a ton. I'm just going to guess this is reused from one of the other ones, but I'm really not sure. As you can see, the helmet's different, the armor's different, the stomach is different. The arms and the legs, everything is different. The boots are so much thicker. I don't know if there was a Doomslayer like this. Just the fact that he has those single joints and they only go in, this much, kind of makes me think it's an older sculpt, at least part of it. Drop down in the comments below. Let me know. Is it brand new? Or is it predominantly reuse with just a few additions like the cape? My guess is it's reused from a previous Doomslayer figure that I don't have. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and its accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 7.2 inches tall, which can translate to around 18 centimeters. And for his articulation. As shown before, his cannon can rotate on the back, can also rotate on the top. His head, of course, it can rotate side to side. He can look up about that far, down quite a bit. Can tilt his head at least a little bit from side to side. Shoulders, ball joint goes up about 90 degrees. The shoulder pad is kind of soft, kind of moves out of the way, but you're putting a lot of pressure against the cape and you could rub some of that fur off, so just be careful. Up, down, around. He has no bicep cut. Single jointed elbow goes up less than 90 degrees and it has rotation, and that's why I think it's an older sculpt. Single joint, less than 90 degrees. I mean, he should be able to hold his gun up a little bit better than that. The wrists can rotate, and it's hinged. His torso, he's got a ball joint. Rotate around, forward and back. And his waist, he has another one of a really doesn't move much at all. It's really tight. Whether it's forward and back just a tiny bit, but rotating almost nothing. Legs complete with splits, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is minimum, but there. Legs go forward, about that far. Back not at all. Single jointed knees, also with rotation. And his ankle. Forward and back. No rotation. Littlest bit of tilt and rock. You get the rotation in the knee there. So, articulation a little bit limited and seems like it's kind of dated and reused from an older figure. Here's Doomslayer entering level 5. He has to head to the top of this mountain and defeat the final boss. He's looking up at what he has to accomplish. It's not going to be easy. Doomslayer gets surrounded by all these monsters and hell beasts. And of course, it doesn't end well for them. Here's the Doomslayer standing on a pile of monstrous corpses. And then here he is, facing off with the final boss. Now let's check him out. Next to some of their action figures, starting off with some of their McFarlane toys. Here's this elite Doomslayer, next to the only other Doomslayer that I have, the glow-in-the-dark version. It's based off the original version of Doomslayer, I believe, a much more basic type body. From my point of view, this new one's great and has no reuse, but I'm pretty confident it's mostly reused from another previous Doomslayer. Let me know in the comments below. Here's the elite Doomslayer, next to McFarlane's elite Lilith from Diablo 4. These are the first two elite figures. And I'm going to pass on, I think, the third one, the anime guy. And we'll see about the next few after that. I think they're Fallout. Here's Doomslayer, next to a couple of McFarlane Gene Stealers from Warhammer. They work great for generic monsters. McFarlane did make 3 different versions of the Gene Stealers, which is awesome for both Warhammer and generic monster army building. And of course, I got 2 of each of those guys. And that doesn't include the unpainted one, which I also got 2 of, but doesn't really work in a scene fighting the Doomslayer and stuff like that. Next, here he is, with a Spawn Violator Mega figure. This guy also works for a great generic monster, or demon, giant, oversized deluxe, awesome creature. Here's the Doomslayer, with a couple of McFarlane Spawn figures, and here, with some McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're usually the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and then work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale, and now, with some Jakks Pacific Wrestling figures and Diamond Select toys. Here's Doomslayer next to a roll of toilet paper, and here he is with some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures, and now with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends, and finally with some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a very nice Doomslayer figure. His articulation is kind of on the weak side of things. He should have a bigger range of motion in his elbows and his knees. Sculpt and paint job are excellent. The cape is great. I love it. It's so soft, feels good, looks awesome. His accessories are plentiful, very well detailed. The price point is outrageous. The price I paid for it is about a fair price. I paid, I think, $36 after shipping. I see him at stores like $51. I can't believe Big Bad Toy Store is asking $72 for him. It's ridiculous. This would be a great figure and a great value at $35, but at $50 it's overpriced. But taking that outside, the figure is awesome. If you want the sort of ultimate Doomslayer, here he is. If I had to rate this guy, I'd probably give him a 7.5 out of 10. And if you had the price point in, that would drop him significantly. But the figure itself is very, very nice. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.